Behind us, you see an empty stadium. Friday night, though, that all changes when Whitehaven comes to Tupelo for the 2024 season opener. I'm Greg Ellis with Coach Ty Harden, and this is Gridiron Taste. And Coach, man, is this the best week there is?
It's here. It's kind of snuck up on us.
It did. It did.
You know, it's a lot of excitement. You've seen it everywhere. Finally get to go play somebody. Finally get to go play somebody in something that's meaningful, and just get to see where we are in our first step of our journey.
If you're used to us coming from the weight room and are confused, why? We just kind of wanted to show off the new field, brand new turf, absolutely gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's unique. Probably one of the most unique fields, in the U.S. It's got a smell to it right now. People, when you come to the first game, you're like, what's going to be that smell? It's going to be a hen of corn cob. Because in the infield, it's corn cob husk, which actually sucks in more moisture, more heat than any type of element there is. So it's been good. We love it. It seems bigger to me with the way the panel is, but like, you have your certain naysayers out there. I hadn't heard many of them. If you don't like it, you're weird. I love it.
I do too. And not only that, we got the new lights. Obviously, it's in the morning right now. We can't show you what they do. So I don't know if I wanted to spoil that anyway. It's going to be a completely different feel on Friday night.
Yeah, you got to be here to see it.
That's right.
It's going to be college-like with the different tricks it can do. We played a ninth grade JV game last night, and I'm walking out of the field house about 10 o'clock, and it's nice to cut on my phone and just cut the lights off. It's just an app cuts on and off the lights like that, and so it's going to be fun. So you got to be here to see it.
Two-time defending division champions, favored again. Got a lot of talent back. You lost a lot of talent too. So let's before we dive into Whitehaven, let's talk about how spring football went, how summer went, and then how the first couple of weeks of practice have gone.
I would say a lot of newness, especially during springtime, winter to spring, a lot of new faces, and just a new team and figuring each other out.
Right.
And I think I think the people in the building have figured each other out a little bit. I still think we're gonna be a team. Each game and each experience is going to be good or bad, but I think they're also each good and bad experience is going to be beneficial for us.
Right.
We're a team. Week 5, we're going to look totally different than week 1. Week 10, we're going to look totally different than week 5. That's just because of the newness. A lot of talent. It's there, but it's just that talent meshing together. Us coaches putting the puzzle pieces together. Playing complementary football, offense helping defense helping offense, special teams helping both of them, and so it's there. And I've seen guys kind of get closer and gel together. There's been some, at one point last week, I think I might have told you, like, I knew we were in fall camp because we had to quit tackling. We had to quit tackling and go into the ground and things like that. I was like, our guys are physical, our guys are ready to kill each other, and so we had to cut that out. And so I'm not.
That's a good problem.
We can be physical, and so it's now just staying healthy, keeping our nose clean, and and guys getting that experience. And so we're gonna be a team day by day. We'll see what we are, and it doesn't get any easier. Each week gets tougher and tougher, especially middle of the season and on.
Renaissance Field, Friday night, 7 o'clock. Get here early to avoid the crowd so that you can get the seat that you want. You can catch us on 93.3, Sunny 93.3 on radio, and live stream. Coach, you've got a lot of players from last year's team that are going to be playing Saturdays and Thursday nights. You've had to replace them. Some people say that the biggest replacement is at quarterback. Quarterback's going to get the attention regardless. You've got a guy familiar with the program, and Noah Gillum. He's back after spending a couple of years at Boonville. What have you seen out of him? Is he ready for the 7A football level?
So with Noah, that helps the familiarity with the whole staff, you know, and the whole roster. I mean, his best friend's a starting center. His other best friend's a starting left tackle. He's thrown fave balls his whole life to Tyreek Dart and Braylon Matthews. And so he grew up a Tupelo kid, moved off, and now has moved back. And so there's not been much of a drop-off. So the respect factor coming in, the kid, he had earned it and was earning it, and he's that type of kid. He's going to earn it no matter what.
Right.
I've seen, and you were talking about the newness and all that. He's one kid I've seen from spring to now make some of the biggest strides.
Nice.
You know, and getting used to the speed. He looked really good in our spring game. Our fall jamboree other night. He's a guy that he's connecting on throws that in the springtime he was not connecting, and now they're on a dime. And so it's just getting that chemistry and with those guys. He wants it really bad. I mean, he wants to be a great quarterback. He loves it here, loves his teammates. And, you know, so we're excited about that. Now, what does he look like against some live bullets, against some elite 7A football? We got to see that.
Right.
But I've seen him do some great stuff against us, the defense, you know? So it's been some iron sharpening iron, a lot of fall camp, and I've seen some days where defense gone out there and kicked offense's butt, but I've seen some days where offense has gone out there and kicked defense's butt, and so that's healthy. You know, you can't just be dominant, you know, just one side. And we felt like offense coming in this season, there was going to be a strength with our playmakers and the bulk of your offensive line being back. And so, you know, we're excited to have Noah back there, and we're ready for him to sling it around.
You've got a pretty good running back, too, that runs as hard as anyone I've seen in a long time, and he's caught the attention of every college in America right now. How do you balance that with Hill's running and Noah's arm? I mean, that's a great balance.
I'm just going to be real with you. Hill's running is going to set up a lot more.
Gotcha.
It's going to set up a lot more of the offense. When you can run the ball with JJ inside, outside, it's going to make Noah and those receivers and those offensive line guys' job easier, you know? Now, will we miss a guy like Quay Middlebrooks? Yes, because Quay was a totally different back. But JJ is a downhill elite running back.
With a lot of experience.
With a lot of experience. He's a lot better. You know, he is faster. He's bigger. And he looks like he's working and prepared like an SEC running back.
He runs like one of those old fullbacks with those legs.
But other night in the jamboree, man, he caught a screen pass for 60 yards, and he outran everybody. And it was like, man, you know, so he's a guy that's, you know, you got a four-quarter running back. Right. You know, you got a guy that, hey, those guys are going to not like tackling him third and fourth quarter. And
because that's when he gets stronger.
That's when he gets stronger. He gets better. You know, I still think his ceiling is still really high. He's still got room, you know, room to grow and get faster. I mean, he's actually a young kid for his age. And so we're excited about JJ. We got some more running backs too. We're excited about a young kid, Kylan Bobo, Mikael Calvert, that's kind of earned some reps as a senior, has worked his way through. And some other guys you might see touch the ball. But, you know, JJ's going to get a bulk of it. And, you know, got to probably be smart with him early in the season. Right. So just so we want to, you know, to me, non-division-wise is about getting the team better and all that, not about all the W's. To me, you've seen us. We've gone undefeated throughout the years. We've gone all that. At the end of the day, it's about winning those last games.
Exactly. We've talked about the offense. Now let's look at the defense. You do have something you haven't had in the last couple of years is you've had some changes in your coaching staff. So let's talk about your new additions to the staff, and then what will we see from the defense?
So, you know, going from last year, we lost our quarterbacks coach and our defense coordinator. So on offense, we switched some things around. We moved our running backs coach, Matt Haygood, to quarterbacks, and we moved Brandon Jackson, our 9th grade head coach, to running backs. I got a position that he's coached before because he was helping on defense. And so now what I did is I went and hired a defense coordinator and special teams coordinator. And so I hired a guy that's got Tupelo connections. I married a Tupelo girl, and I think he's one of the brightest, smartest, younger defensive minds in the state of Mississippi. I've known him for a little while. I've talked to him before about coaching and stuff, and he was a guy that I was like, man, why are you going into coaching? You're too dang smart, man, to be coaching football. And he has been a breath of fresh air. He's been great for us. Kids love him. Totally new scheme.
Right.
Okay. So there's been a learning curve there. There's been some failure. There's still going to be some failure going forward until we just master it. And then we hired Brian Jones, our former defensive coordinator, a guy that's been here. I don't know how many years he had in here.
Quite a few.
Maybe 16 or something like that. Before he left, went to be the coordinator at Petal, and now he's back here. And
brings a lot of energy.
Brings a lot of energy. Brings a lot of wisdom. I mean, he's a guy that's got a lot of football under his belt, but he has a young guy. He's got young guy's energy, and he is very to the point. He's on top of his stuff all the time, and I feel like that's one thing as a head coach I did not do a good enough job in the past, as being us being great in special teams, and we're going to be great with him because he's going to scheme them up and he's going to help with defense too. So that's kind of our changes, and you're going to see more of an aggressive defense. In the past, we were kind of a 3-4. We were aggressive, pretty aggressive, but we're going to be really aggressive now. You'll see more 4 down linemen instead of three down linemen, more of a 4-2-5. What you see some of these colleges do, and it's just going to be a defense that gets better every week.
A couple of guys to keep an eye on.
Man, there's a lot of them. I think there's some elite talent in each group. I think depth sometimes is a concern, maybe in each group too. D-line, you got to start with. I think one of our senior D linemen, Cade Kilgore, this guy's got several years of experience. College defensive lineman, can play defensive end and tackle for us. Draylon McCoy, Jr. has got several years. One of the
Feels
top.
Like he's been here 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, a kid that's a national prospect. We've seen a lot of great stuff from him this fall. He's a year older. I think he's maturing a lot more. It's been great on that end. We'll be as good as Draylon wants to be up front. Had a kid move in, Big Donovan Hawkins. He's a 6'2", 350-pound nose guard. So
take up some room right
there. And we got a guy like we got several guys at our Sam position, which is basically our stand-up DN. Jamarcus Young and Jacalyn Chapman, 2 seniors that have played. Jamarcus is kind of a quarterback rusher's nightmare. And at the linebacker crew, remember a name like this, and you'll hear it for a few years, and that is Devontre Brewer. Devontre Brewer is a sophomore. He's about 6'2", 225, SEC linebacker, 4.2 student in honors classes.
Nice.
Special player. Expecting big things out of him. And returned some experience with Malachi Gillian and KJ Jenkins. Guys have played a lot of games. KJ was one of the leading tacklers for us last year. Malachi has played everywhere for us. He's earned his right to be on the field. And then we go to our DB / nickels and stuff like that. And I mean, Tupelo has been great in that position group every year. We're excited about that group right now too. We got Mason Dunn. Obviously, got to start with Mason Dunn.
Got a lot of attention.
Got a lot of attention this summer. He's got offers all the way from LSU to UCLA to across the country. Iverson McCoy, which is I would say one of our leaders on our team. He's committed to Mississippi State to play. Had a kid move in from named Kylan Simmons. He's been great for us at safety. And then you got just a lot of guys that have played a lot of ball, and that's B.J. Daniels, Kevin Perkins, Jaden Evans, and another kid that moved in, Braylon Williams. We're very deep and athletic right there. And then we have our star position, which is kind of our outside linebacker, nickel and stuff, is Chris Ivy. Chris Ivy has played running back. He's played safety. He's played linebacker. He's kind of like the Swiss Army knife right there. So Chris Ivy and J.D. Wise will play that star position. So we're excited. We keep growing on defense every day, and we'll just got to keep playing different teams every week to see how we adjust and what we do.
You bring up Chris Ivy. He made plays, felt like every offense, defense, special teams last year, and you kept saying, watch out for him, watch out for him.
Chris can be as good as Chris wants to be. Chris has got all the talent in the world. Chris can, like I say, if we have issues at running back at any point, Chris can turn around and go play running back. He's one of the faster kids in school. And he's just an athlete. We're trying to put at a position that we want one of our best athletes to play.
Special teams, we talked about the new changes on the coaching staff, but big changes in our kicker and punter. Obviously,
had a kid that started 3 years ago, Gideon Deaton. He started 3 years straight for us. I mean, from sophomore to senior year. So it was definitely a weird change with that, and I think it made us coach more. There, we kind of got spoiled sometimes. Hey, Gideon, just go kick it in the end zone, or hey, Gideon, just boot it on punt and stuff. And so we got a bunch of different guys. We actually got more guys kicking this year. We had a kid that came in from the soccer team. Thank you, Coach Fawcett. Jay Sanders, a kid that is going to play soccer in college, and he keeps improving. He might have that opportunity in football too. Very, very good. Can kick, punt, do field goals. Eduardo and Hobson Dodrell can also do field goals and kick too. So there's been a good, healthy competition there. They're making each other better. And at punter, Iverson McCoy is actually punting for us. I'm telling you, the type of athlete he is. He can boot it. And so we got an athlete back there at punter, so we might play some games with and change things up.
You've been known to pull a little sneak play here and there on punt. In December, you look back and you say, we were successful because
we stayed healthy. We were lucky in certain positions. You got to be. I mean, sometimes
ball's got to bounce your way.
Ball's got to bounce your way sometimes, and we got to keep our nose clean. We got to stay focused on the prize. In the day, we cannot beat us. We can't be our own worst enemy. And
when you look back at last year, the games that we lost, that's exactly what happened. We beat ourselves.
We beat ourselves. I think the last 2 years that's been the case. We beat ourselves, and been unfortunate. I think in big games at the end of the season, the last 2 years, we've had some key guys get hurt, and so I'm it ain't that I'm soft or anything, or my coaches are soft going forward. It's right now. I mean, we're going to practice hard. We're going to get our work in, but we want to get our guys fresh to Friday.
Exactly.
And sometimes you might get hurt in games and things like that, but we want our guys. We want our guys feeling 100 on Friday night, and so we've toyed with some guys working both ways too to fix some of those problems. I feel like last year, 2 years in a row, we had a kid like J.Q. Witherspoon. Go out. That was an elite receiver for us 2 years in a row, and I don't feel like we had a backup plan for that. And I feel like we've got our backup plans now. And it's staying healthy, playing at the right time, and just don't beat ourselves.
Before we end it, I always like to ask you that kind of non-Tupelo question. SEC football starts this week.
Here we go.
Kind of a different look this year. 16 teams.
I know, crazy.
Who are your top 3 teams in the SEC this year?
Well, that's kind of easy, isn't it?
I thought so until I kind of looked at it the other day. The top 5 are easy.
Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss.
That's kind of where
I mean. I think that's kind of the consensus.
Alabama can be there, but there's just too many unknowns to me with the new coaching staff. So.
You can trade out Alabama or Ole Miss right there.
Yeah.
But I do think Georgia and Texas are probably the first 2.
And then everybody else.
It's going to be a crazy year, man. It's going to be crazy. Just the other day we were talking about it on a radio show about now you got to worry about like tiebreakers and stuff like that. It's
no division, so
yep, that's right.
Got to figure it out. Coach, can't wait for Friday night. We'll be here every Thursday. Want to thank Ryan Kuhn behind the camera, producing and doing everything for us. It's here.
It's here.
Friday night, 7 o'clock. And then we go on the road for 2 weeks before we come back. So come out and see it right off the get-go how good this team is going to be. For Coach Ty Harden, I'm Greg Ellis, and this is Gridiron Takes.